Hello, today we will be solving a math problem. Specifically a word problem. Here's our problem. 4 student clubs joined together to hold a car wash to raise money for their clubs. The car wash raised $512. If they share the money equally among 4 clubs, how much money will each club get? So I'm going to look for our numbers here, and I see we have 512, which is the total amount of money they raised. And considering further the narrative of the word problem, if they share the money, or $512, equally among the 4 clubs, how much money will each club get? And so when figuring out what kind of math we'll be doing here, the things that most stand out to me is that we have a total sum here that we want to split, or in this case share equally, among 4 groups. So reading this, I can tell we want to do division. Most specifically, we are going to be doing long division, since we have a big number and a small number. You can do long division with 2 big numbers, but the long in the name really comes from you have a big number and a small number, so you're going to have to do quite a handful of steps. Here I have direct modeled, built with base 10 blocks, 512. Let's just double check that. We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 510, 511, 512. So when doing long division, we start with our largest place value, and in this case that is our 100s place. And so we ask ourselves, how many times can 4 go into 5? And just off my own recall, 5 is only a little bit bigger than 4, so I know that 4 can only go into 5 once. So I will write that in our hundreds place once. And 4 times 1 is 4. So we set up a subtraction equation, and we're removing 4 from 5. And it's important to remember that these are our hundreds. So we're removing 400 from 500. So here's 100, 200, 300, 400. And we are left with 100. And we can represent that on our equation as well. We are left with 100. Now, our job again, and here's where we can check if we did our work right in this first step. How many times does 4 go into 1? If we did this previous step correctly, 4 shouldn't be able to go into the number we are left with. And knowing 1 is smaller than 4, without breaking 4 up, it can't fit into 1 even once. And so what we need to do here is bring down our next place value. And in this case, it's 110. And so we have 11 here. And in our base 10 blocks, you can see I'm bringing our next place value down, which is our tens. And so we are now working with tens. How many tens do we have? Well, I know 100 is 10 tens. So we can count those really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. 11 tens, and that's the same number we have written over here in our equation. 11 is bigger than 4, so how many times does 4 go into 11? I will count with my hands out loud to see how many times 4 goes into 11. I know we have 4, 8, and then our next number would be 12, which is larger than 11, so I'm going to stop there, just at 8. 4, 8. That is twice. 4 goes into 11 2 times without breaking 4 up. And so here we do 4 times 2 is that 8 we had. Line up our numbers. There's a kind of a squished 8. And we can remove 8 from our tens over here. Now, I know that this 1 is not enough to remove, so I will quickly break apart our 100 into 10 tens. I could have done this while we were counting, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so we have 11 tens over here, and we need to remove 8 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so when we do our math problem over here, the same math but written as on our equation, we are left with 11 minus 8 is 3. And that's the same answer as we got over here, which is we have 3 tens left over. Again, I know that 3 is smaller than 4. So 4 is not going to be able to go into 3 without breaking it apart. So we do the same thing we did before, where we bring down our place value. And this place value is now our 1s. So I'm bringing down the 2. And if we work on this with our direct model as well, I'm going to bring these 2 over here. And we should have 32 1s. Again, I'm going to leave these 10 blocks whole for now, but we know each 10 block is 10 1s, so we can go 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. I'm going to neaten up this 2 over here because it kind of looks like a 1. 30. Oh, same problem. Not getting those curves in. 30. Whew. Handwriting is not my strong suit today. 30. 2. Alright, we'll call that one our best one. And so now we need to ask ourselves, how many times does 4 go into 32 without breaking it into smaller pieces? And so I'm going to count on my hands again, and I'll let you know how many fingers I have. And so we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. And the number I'm holding on my fingers is 8. So I know now that 4 goes into 32 neatly 8 times. And so I'm going to write that number up here. And multiplying 4 times 8, I write 32 down here. $32. And you might notice over here we have 32 minus 32. And that might be a math problem you can solve in your head. But we're still going to direct model it. So I'm going to go over here and I will subtract 32. And that is 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. And so over here we are left with 0. And that's how we know we are all done with our long division. This problem, 4 goes into 512 nicely. So we have 4 clubs taking in $512 each. And our final answer, after doing all this work, is we know it's $128 per group. $128 per group. Thanks for doing long division with me.